Good morning, students. Today I have explained subject Computer Studies, Standard 11, Chapter number 8, Advanced Scripting, Part 1. In Chapter 7, we learn how to use the VIM editor and also saw how to write the basic shell script. We mentioned that the shell script have features similar to a higher level language. Are we then learning a new language? No, we are not learning any new language at all. We are learning one of the best features that an open source OS provides. The shell scripts are used to routine system administrator tasks. They are the best tools an administrator can get to easily monitor and control his system even if he is at remote location. The shell script design so far were sequential in nature. The commands were executed in the same order in which they appeared in the script. While performing administrative tasks, we may need to perform execution of some statement repeatedly. We may also need to skip executions of some statements on predefined conditions. In this chapter, we will see some script related to system administrations and discuss how to use decision statement and looping construct in shell script. So first is a finding process ID. In Linux, all programs executable stored on hard disk are executed as process loaded into a memory and running. Each process when started has a unique number associated with it known as a process ID. So PID is a process ID. We can perform operations like view or stop a process to see the process associated with the current cell. We can issue the ps command without any parameters. We can view the process of all users by using the ps-ef command. So that is a ps-ef command. So ps-ef command the list of process. Table 8.1 gives the meaning of some of column listed. So PID first is a UID. UID that means name of numbers of the users who owns the process. Second is a PID. PID that means a unique numeric process identified assigned to each process. Next is a PPID. Identifies the parent process ID, the process that created the current process. Next is a S time, the start time for the current process. TTY identifies the terminal that control the current process. Next is a time, identifies the amount of CPU time accumulated by the current process. CMD that means identify the command used to invoke the process. So that is a list of process for command ps-ef. So that is a 7 columns: UID, PID, PPID, S time, TTY time, and CMD. This is a list process command. Next is a $1 to $9. They are command line argument. Next is a if command. The if statement of Linux is concerned with the exit status of a test expressions. The condition is enclosed in a square bracket. There should be one space after opening a square bracket and one before closing a square brackets. If condition is evaluated to true, then statement type inside then block will be executed, otherwise not. The end of the if statement is indicated by fi statement. The then keyword should be typed below if statement. Exit status of command 0, that means if statement has been executed successfully. Next, exit status of command 1, that is if statement has not been executed successfully. So that is a if statement. And next is a script end script to find out how many process a user is running. So open the vim and then file name and then .sh. So vim editor is also open, and open the command mode. So click to I, that means insert mode, and then to type the scripting, and after last line mode colon wq, that means a save a file and exit the vim editor. And after that the output for the scripting, so terminal the command sh file name and .sh and then enter. So your output scripting output is also available in terminal window. So first command has sign, that means a comment line. Next is a clear. Next is a echo dash and enter username. That means users enter the name, so that is a store a value in usr name variable. So read username and then cnt, that means a count, ps dash ef cut dash d double inner comma dash f1 pipe grep dash o dollar username pipe wc, that means word count, and dash w backward over echo user dollar username is running dollar cnt process. So save the script as script10.sh and let us try to understand the working of the script. The first command clear the content of the screen, and then a message is displayed for the users to enter a username. The read command then assign the string read from the keyboard to variable username. Then we have combined four commands, namely ps, cut, grep and wc using pipe. The ps-ef command display list of process being run by all the users of the system. Its output is then given to the cut command. The cut command extracts the first field username. From this output, the extract list of first field is then given to the grep command. The grep command finds all the users that match with the value that is executed from variable username. This matched list is then given to the wc command that counts the occurrence of the given word username. Finally, this word count is assigned to variable cnt. The last command then display the actual output needed. Figure 8.2 shows the sample output of the script. So that is a output. Enter the username, that is a root, and then enter user root is running 103 process. So as mentioned earlier, we may remove a process and release some memory space if so required. So that is a output of scripting. Next script, script number 11, script to find out how many terminals a user has opened. So first is a hashtag line, that means a comment line. Next is a CND, that means a count, backcode, and WHO, that means who, that means a uh, the terminal's name. Cut dash D, double inner comma, dash F1, pipe grep dash O, $1, and pipe WC, and then dash W, backcode over. Echo user $1 has opened $CNT terminals. So save the script as script 11.sh and observe that the script we created the previous example use variables. In the script we have made use of command line argument. The entity $1 here refers to a command line argument, and to execute the script type the command as mentioned below. So sh script 11.sh and then administrator. So chapter number 8, all the scripting are run from server sides. So you must have observed that the script is executed in the similar manner as we have executed the previous script, but here we have specified additional value administrator. The readers may specify any name of their choice. Linux stores the value provides through command line in $variable name $1, $2, $3, and so on. First argument will be stored in $1, second is $2, third in $3, and so on till $9. These arguments are known as a command line argument, and the output of the script is shown in figure 8.3. So that is a output sh script 11.sh and then administrator. So user's administrator has opened two terminals. So let us try to understand the working of the script. In first statement, after comment, we have combined the four commands, namely who, cut, grep, and wc using pipe. The who command display list of all users that have logged into the system. Its output is then given to the cut command. The cut command extracts the first field from this output. The extracted list of the first field is the given to the grep command. The grep command then finds out all the users that match with the entered command line argument value $1 is equals to administrator. This match list is given to the wc command that counts the occurrence of the given word username. Finally, this word count is assigned to variable cnd. The last command then display the actual output needed. So next step, there are four decision making instructions: if then fi, if then else fi, if then else, if and else and then fi, and last is a case. The reverse is a ESAC. The first two statement of above can test limited sets of the conditions. The last two statement of above can test more number of conditions. Then if then else, if then else fi statement looks as number of comparison grows. The alternate options for checking such conditions is to use a case statement. The if statement can work with numeric value, string and files. So the tests performed are known as numerical test, string test and file test respectively. So this is a new scripting, script number 12, script to create a directory with appropriate message. Let us may an administrator want to create a directory, he can do it using an make a directory command. But if he uses a script for creating a directory, he can generate appropriate message also. So let us try write a script that follow allows us an administrator to create a directory. So echo dash and enter a directory name, read my dir, so that is a variable my dir, and if big bracket dash d dollar my dir dash o dash f and dollar my dir brackets over, then echo a file or directory with the name dollar my dir already exist. That means you are enter the name, uh, so already exits the your computer file or directory. So this message which display already exists. Otherwise, your directory or file created successfully message. So exit 0 and then fi mkdir dollar my dir echo directory with the name dollar my dir created successfully. So save the script as script number 12.sh and observe that in the script we have used and if then fi construct. This construct is shell script allow us to perform decision making. The if statement of Linux is concerned with the exit status of the test expression. The exit status indicate whether the command was successfully executed or not. The exit status of command is 0, so if it has been executed successfully, otherwise it is set to 1. So that is the output of the scripting sh script 12.sh. So enter the directory name subject. So subject is already exists because the file or directory with the name subject already exists. Next time the script is running sh script 12.sh. So enter directory name script underscore directory, directory with the name script underscore directory created successfully. So this is the output of script number 12. Next script, script to compare a file. It is a normal practice to copy a file and keep it in it another directories, may for purpose of the backup. The users many times get confused whether both the files are same or different. Let us write a script that helps a user compare such as file. The script when executed compare both the files using the cmp command. Cmp, that means say compare command. Based on the output of the cmp command, it then display appropriate message. Okay, so first is a command line as sign script 13 script to compare a file, echo dash and enter a file name. So users the enter the name, so the variable is a f name, the value is stored in f name. So read f name. If cmp, that means comparing a file. If cmp dot slash dollar f name dot slash backup slash dollar f name, then echo dollar f name, that means a file name is same at both place. So you have copy to the file, so both the places are same, otherwise else part echo both dollar f name are different than the fi. So save the script as 11 script 13.sh. Here we first accept a file name from the user to keep the script simple as of now we have used absolute path for a directory. We have also assumed that the file name at both the locations are same. So figure 8.5 so the output of the script sh script 13.sh, enter a file name address.txt and then enter. So address.txt is same at the both place, so that is two sides. Script 13.sh is a same file. Second time the script is running sh script 13.sh, enter a file name address.txt, that means say dot address and dot txt dot backup and slash address.txt, that is a difference. Byte 398 and line is 60, both address.txt are the difference. So here we have executed the script twice. In the first run both the files contents are same, means we get the message that both files are same. Before second run we have modified the file in the current directory, and we are getting the message that files are different. So next scripting. uh, in previous chapter we have written a small script to welcome the users as logged in the system. Let us modify it further so that we display proper welcome message, that is a good morning, good afternoon or a good evening depending on the time the user has logged in. So script number 14 is script to display welcome message to the users. First command is a clear, next is a hover, our backward date plus percentage nh inner comma over and backward over. Users name equals to who am I, pipe cut dash d double inner comma dash f n1 backward over. If dollar hour dash g greater than 0 dash a dollar hour dash lt, that means less than 12, that means midnight 12 to next day 12 o'clock afternoon 12 o'clock, so that is a good morning. Then the message is display echo good morning and dollar username and welcome to Ubuntu Linux sessions. Otherwise else if dollar hour dash ge 12, that means after 12 o'clock greater than 12 and dash a hour dash lt less than 18, that means 12 plus 6 before 6, that is a good afternoon. Then message display echo good afternoon dollar users name and welcome to Ubuntu Linux sessions. Otherwise else echo good evening, that means after 6 o'clock to uh, mid night 12 o'clock, that is a good evening message display. So echo good evening dollar username welcome to Ubuntu Linux session and then F5. So figure 8.6 the output scripting. The scripting, the output will vary depending on the when the user has login. So good afternoon administrator, welcome to Ubuntu Linux sessions, and this is the output. Next script to see whether the users has created more than specified file in a month. So that is a use of a test command. It is possible to use different from of if statement. Linux also provide test command which can be used in place of square brackets used in previous scripting. Let us write a script to check whether a user has created more than some specified files is a given month or not. Script number 15 script to see whether users has created more than specified files in a month. First command is a clear CNT, that means a count, equals to ls dash l pipe grep dash c, big brackets hyphen inner comma dollar one inner comma complete and then backward. Echo dash n, enter number of files, read end file. If test $cnt dash gt dollar end files, then echo you have created more than dollar number of files in the month of dollar one. Else echo you have not created more than dollar number of files in the month of dollar one and then fi. So let us try to understand the scripting. uh, let us try to understand the scripting. Here we have defined a variable named cnt. This variable is assigned the total count of the files, creating a specific a month. To find out the number of files, we have used two commands, namely ls and grep. ls-l command is used to display details of files and directory. Sorry. Of files and directory. Its output is the given to the grep command that match a regular expression hyphen dollar one. The month is specified as 2-digit numeric values and accept through commands line argument assigned to dollar one. Then we have defined a variable n file, that is number of files, that store the value of number of files that we want to compare with the dash gt, that means greater than options in the text indicate greater than comparison. Here we are checking whether the value of cnt is greater than the value of number of files or not. If the value of cnt is greater than the value of number of files, we print the message you have created more than dollar number of files in the month of dollar one, where dollar number of files and dollar one are replaced with appropriate values. Otherwise we print a message you have not created more than number of files in the month of dollar one. So figure 8.7 show the output of scripting when we issue a command shown below on the command prompt. sh script 15.sh and 0202, that means a February month. So you have created a month of February. So lump sum number of created file you have entered. So the scripting is output the message display more than number of files, otherwise not create a more than number of files. So enter the number of files, that is a 10. So you have created more than 10 files in the month of 02, that means a February month. Number of 10 files, more than number 10 files you have created. The if statement can work with numeric values, string and files. In turn, the tests performed are known as a numeric test, string test and file test respectively. Observe that we have used options like dash d, dash f, dash o, dash a, dash g, dash lt, dash gt in the script created so far. All these options allow us to perform various types of condition matching. A relational operator. These operators are used to compare values of two numeric operands. The options dash "g" and dash "lt", dash "le" and dash "gt" refers to relational operator. Next is a logical operator. To combine conditions, we make use of logical operators dash a dash o, and then extensions are a logical operators. Next is the file operators. They are used to check the status of file or directory. These operators are used as a condition within the then if statement. The status of file permissions can be found by using them dash s, dash f, dash d, dash r, dash w, and dash x are file operators. So next scripting is a script number 16 to check file size. Many times administrator needs to find whether a specified file size has a size is equal to 0 or not. He can then perform maintenance operations like delete the files in case its size is 0. He may additionally need to find whether write permissions on the file is set or not. Let us write a script that allow administrators to check the file size and known uh, what permissions are allocated to the file. So script number 16, to check the file size, echo dash "n", enter a file name, read fname if $s dash s, and then $fname dash a dash w $fname, big bracket over, then echo $fname has size greater than 0 and user has write permission on it. Otherwise, else part, echo $fname has size 0 or user does not have write permission on it, and then fi. So save the script number 16, script 16.sh, and the statement is if big bracket dash s $fname dash a dash w $fname has multiple conditions, the result of the if statement is evaluate when both the conditions give us some output. So this is the output. Sh script 16.sh, enter a file name, script 5.sh. Script 5.sh has size 0 or user does not have the write permission on it. And next time the scripting is running, enter a file name, script 10.sh. Script 10.sh has size greater than 0 and user has write permission on it. So that is the output of the scripting. Next script, script number 17, script to find the file with the maximum size. So the if then and fi and if then else fi statement used so far allow us to test limited set of conditions. In case a user need to perform more number of tests, these statements may not be of much help. In such case, we may use the if then else if then else and fi or the case statement. So let us write a script that accept three files from the users and display the file which has a maximum size. Uh, First command is a clear, echo dash and enter name of first file. So the user says enter the name. So the variable first is a fname1. So the value is stored in fname1. Second, echo dash and enter name of second file, read fname2. Echo dash and enter name of third file, read fname3. And then comparison the file, f size 1 equals to backcode wc, that means a word count, dash c, that means a character, dollar which file, so dollar fname1, that means the first file, code dash d, w comma dash f and then 1 and backward over. Second file dollar file size 2 equals to wc dash c dollar f name 2 pipe cut dash d w comma dash f and then 1 f size 3 equals to wc dash c dollar f name 3 pipe cut dash d w comma dash f and then 1 backward over. So echo size of dollar f name equals to 1 equals to dollar file size 1. Second echo size of dollar f name 2 equals to dollar f size 2. Echo size of dollar f name 3 equals to f size 3. If dollar file size 1 dash eq, that means equal to dollar size 2 dash a dollar size 1 dash eq dollar size 3. So that is a three files is size is equal to, so message is display, then echo all files have same size. And then next is else if otherwise, uh, big bracket dollar file size 1 dash gt greater than dollar file size 2. So dash a dollar file size 1 dash gt dollar file size 3. So then message which display echo dollar file name 1 has maximum a size. Else if dollar file size 2 dash gt dollar file size 1 dash a dollar file size 2 dash gt dollar file size 3. So then message is display echo dollar file name 2 has maximum a size. First is a file number 1 is maximum, second is a file 2 has maximum, otherwise the echo dollar file name 3 has maximum a size and then f5. So that is the comparison for file 1, file 2 and file 3. So that is a save the script number 17.sh, save the file, and the 6 statement after the clear command are used to accept the file name both the from the user. The next 3 statement calculate the size of file. Later the size are displayed to the user. Finally, using the if condition, the script find out the file that is a maximum size. This is a figure 8.9, the output of a scripting. First enter the first file script 7.sh, enter the second file script 8.sh, enter the third file script 9.sh. So the size of script 7 file is a 179, 194 and 215. So the maximum file size is a script number 9.sh. So that is a output of script 9.sh has a maximum size. So next topic is a case statement. Dash s dash f dash d dash r dash w and dash x are file operators. Options to check the number of comparison, different sections for each operations. The control is transferred to the sections with a matching value specified before the closing round brackets. All the statements written within that sections are executed till two semicolons are and countered. If user enters any value that does not match any of the case value specified, then the control in transfer to the section that is asterisk as its value. The end of case statement is specified by escape keywords, ESAC, escape keyword, and we can assign numeric characters or a string value to the variable that accept the choice. So that is a case statements. And this scripting, the case statement, script number 18, script to perform various files and directory operations. So echo number 1 display current directory, echo 2 make directory, echo 3 copy a file, echo 4 rename a file, echo 5 delete a file, echo 0 exit. So echo dash n enter your choice 0 to 5. So read choice number 1 2 3 4 5 and 0. So that is a applicable for the number 1 2 3 4 and 5 and 0. So number 1 case dollar choice in number 1 echo dollar pwd and then semicolon. That means the first case is over. Second number, echo dash and enter name of the directory to be created. Read dname if brackets d dash d dollar dname, then echo directory with the name dollar dname already exit 0. Else part, make a directory dollar dname echo directory dollar dname created successfully fi and 2 semicolon. That is a second number case is over. Third number, echo dash and enter a source file name, read as file, that means a source file name. Echo dash and enter destination file, read d file, that means a destination file, and cp, that means a copy command, dash u dollar s file and source file, and dollar d file, that is the destination file, and semicolon over 2 semicolons. That is the third case is over. Fourth case, echo dash and enter old file name, read old f, that means file, echo dash and enter a new file name, read new file mv, that is a rename a command mv dollar old file name and then dollar new file name and then 2 semicolons. Number 5, echo dash and enter the file name to delete, read first name and rm dollar f name, that is a file name, and 2 semicolon over, that we say fifth case is over. And the last 0 that we say exit 0 and semicolon, and the by default star, that means echo incorrect choice existing a script, that means 0 to 5 numbers is enter and otherwise the other character is entered, so the message will be display incorrect choice. And then last, the first statement is the case, so and the case and the statement is a reverse the case ESAC. So this scripting is over. So save the script as scripting 18.sh and observe that for each operations that we need to perform, we have written different section. When a user enters a numeric value between 0 and 5, it is assigned to the variable choice. The case statement extract the value of variable choice. The control is transferred to the sections with a matching value specified before the closing round brackets. All the statements written within the sections are executed till 2 semicolons are encountered. Once these semicolons are encountered, the control is transferred to the line after the end of the case statement. The end of case statement is specified by the reverse is a case ESAC keyword, and the cell then start executing statement written after the end of the case statement. If user enters any value that does not match any of the case, the value specified, then the control is transferred to the section that has asterisk as its value. If specified, these sections allow a user to exit the script to perform additional processing after displaying an appropriate message. So figure 8.10, this is the output of a scripting sh scripting 18.sh. So this message will be display one number, display current directory, to make directory, 3 copy a file, 4 rename a file, 5th delete a file, and 0 to exit. So enter your choice. So 0 to 5, the users enter a number 1, that means a display current directory. So /home/administrator. Second time the users enter a number 2, 2 number, that means a make directory. Enter name of the directory to be created. User enter Linux script. So that is a message will be display directory with the name Linux script already exists. So this today's session is over. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.